So, as we all know, yesterday there was a brand new race series that came out, the open wheeled race series. Now, with this series, you can only use the open wheeled cars, which are classed as the F1 cars. But, unfortunately, they didn't really come with too many instructions on how to, number one, drive the thing, and number two, well, drive the thing. So, these races are an absolute clusterfuck when it comes to damage and when it comes to picking tyres. And that is what we're here today to talk about, picking the correct tyres and testing each individual tyre. That's why this video is like 12 odd minutes. Because we are testing every single tyre on the race course. Now, I'll be going into detail of each tyre, but just before we do so, let's go into detail of what each tyre actually is. So, you have the soft tyres, the ones that decay quicker but give you more grip. And then you have the hard tyres, the ones giving you less grip but decaying slower. And then you have the medium ones where they're just somewhere in between. There wasn't really specifics on these tyres, they were just thrown in there. Soft and hard were explained, but medium weren't really, so obviously medium is just going to be somewhere in the middle, so you can take your pick on after this. And I actually found it quite interesting to see how close the medium tyres were compared to the hard tyres, and the soft tyres just being okay, but I don't know, we'll get into that towards the end because that is when I'm doing soft tyres. So the order I will be doing it in is hard tyres first, then the medium tyres, then the soft tyres. In my opinion, going from either the best or the worst, or the worst to the best. I don't know, watch the video and find out what my opinion is towards the end. But now getting into our first test, we are going to be testing these hard tyres, like I said before. Now, by the way, all of these tests will be run on the same card, the PR4, and it is my custom vehicle, so they are all done on the same vehicle. And the way I'm going to be doing this is, what I'm going to do is, number one, show you guys my best lap, so this is going to be the best lap for you guys, so you can get the full version of, number one, how the car can perform, but that's not what we're really here for today, and also then number two, how the tyres are with the certain damage that they are on, because I did them all on different laps. I believe that this one is my fourth lap. The medium tyre, I believe that was done on, I believe, my third lap, and then the last one was actually done on my second lap, the soft tyres. So, you know, it is going to be quite interesting to see how quickly these different types of tyres can go around the course. Now, I obviously did pick it to where I had the boost every time, just to make it fair, but it doesn't really come down to that, it comes down to the grip. Now, the hard tyres, which is what the ones I'm using now, like I said, they take longer to decay, but they have like less grip, so you can go around corners, but you have a much higher chance, or that's what it says, of spinning out. But I don't really think so, because doing this course, the hard tyres seemed quite well around corners. So long as I took some corners wide and then cut it inwards, I did quite well with these tyres. The hard tyres are quite a good choice to pick for any circuit. Some people say, oh, if it's got a lot of corners, pick the soft tyres because people may crash, number one, and then number two, your tyres won't decay as quickly. But I don't really think so. Granted, yeah, people would be going to the pits more often if you had soft tyres, and so you could catch up around the corners if it is quite bendy, but either way, you might as well pick a tyre where, number one, you can go round corners quite well, but also then save time by not having to go into the pits. But who am I to judge? It doesn't really matter. I didn't make the videos, I'm making this one. My opinions, you've got your own opinions, you can make your own by the end of this video after watching all of it and gathering all the information. But if you are interested in me comparing all the tyres, that'll be done at the end of the video. But as you can see here, the best lap time there was 1 minute 37.5, and overall the total lap time, I'm going to ignore that overall because sometimes I did just mess about doing some tests here and there. But going on now for the medium tyres, the second best tyres as most people would say. But for me, I don't really know, because the medium tyres, they can sometimes act like soft tyres, but then other times act like hard tyres. I'll get into that a little bit later when I'm comparing all the tyres together, when they're all side by side and we can see all the stats. But to me, sometimes the hard tyres can very easily compare with the medium tyres, because the medium tyres, I'm going to assume, are meant to decay quicker than the harder tyres, but not as quick as the soft tyres. But they're not meant to give you as much grip as the soft tyres would, but then give you a little bit more grip as the hard tyres would, because obviously they're medium, so they have to be somewhere in between both soft and hard. But I feel like Rockstar fucked up with these tyres, because they keep on changing for me somehow. Because after recording this, because this was recorded, as of doing this voiceover right now, this was recorded last night. So after this, I did a couple more races. And I did pick medium, soft and hard for my own personal preference, because I did only go around this course, I believe, overall 4 times, because the soft tyres, I did that twice because the first recording just went to absolute shit. But overall, I found out that the medium tyres did actually change. So maybe you would want to experiment between the hard and soft tyres. Maybe not the soft tyres, sorry. Between the hard and the medium tyres. Completely forget about the soft ones, because you'll see why I'm saying completely forget about the soft ones in a second. But these tyres are quite weird, and I feel like Rockstar are going to try and fix these. So just before they do fix them, try and test between them, because sometimes they are quite easily, the hard and medium tyres are quite easily compared to each other, whereas obviously the hard and soft tyres, just, they don't compare at all. But overall, the medium tyres are quite good. Like, compared to the hard, they are quite good, and they do give their grip. They do also not really decay as quick, as, like I said a million times already. You'll see. But there you go. My best lap time was half a second slower than my hard tyre lap, which really says something about the medium tyres. But just before I ramble on more about the mediums, let's go on to the softer tyres, the more shittier ones, we'll say. We'll call them the shittier ones, beginning with S, because really these are the shit of what tyres can really be, mainly because of the decay time. Now, with the hard and medium tyres, you could clearly see that they didn't really decay too much after 5 laps. By the way, these are all based off 5 laps. They're not like one's 13 laps, although that's completely impossible, but you get the point. I didn't do like 15 laps in one, 5 laps in the other, and then like 20 in another one. They were all 5 laps on the exact same course, because I felt like that would have just been fair to not swap between courses, because number one, the terrain might be a little bit different. That's also why it's always been sunny throughout this, because I didn't want it to be raining during one, because I feel like also the weather has also an effect. Now all races I've done so far haven't had rain in it, but if any of yours has had rain in it because the leader was stupid, let me know in the comments. Does it change, or do you think it changes the grip on the tyres? It would make sense to. They've tried to make these races as realistic as possible, so why not add it to where, if it's slippery, make the car slip around everywhere, basically like it has no spoiler, because as soon as you lose the spoiler, you've lost all grip in your car. But going on back towards the soft tyres, you can see that I've even finished second lap, and we're already 75% of the way through the tyre. That is not a good sign instantly. Like, how can you do a race with 10 laps and then have to go into the pit stop like 3 or 4 times during that? Because me personally, I go into the pit stop when the tyres are like halfway down, so you know, it just makes sense. But there you go, final lap, I have lost all grip in the tyres. As you just saw then, I went straight into the barrier and it can no longer make corners. Now, the annoying thing is I lost the front end of the car, because when the tyres, I believe, went under a quarter of the way, I just completely lost grip on one of the corners and then just hit straight into the barrier. But there you go, within 5 laps, you completely destroy tyres that are soft. I probably would have gone into the pit lane at around lap 3 if this was a real race and I hadn't been damaged too much, because the tyres are just completely and utter shit. Now, one experiment I didn't pick to do is on all of them was how quickly the tyres would go if you were to say do a wheel spin. Now, obviously, whenever you do start, you'll notice that at the beginning of every race, when you launch, you lose a bit of grip on your tyres. That makes complete sense. And no matter when you do this, whether it be at the start or the end, you will always lose this grip. Now you can see there, I'm constantly wheel spinning, you can hear it in the background, and the lowest grip is going down at sort of a pace. So it obviously makes sense that that happens, and if this was all four-wheel drive, it would go down twice as quick, because obviously the front tyres aren't going down, but the back tyres are. But with all that said, the lap time that I got, the best lap time of the soft tyres, was 1:38. Quite very much slower than all the others. But here is now comparing all of the tyres. As you can see, you have hard, medium, and soft. Hard tyres barely made a dent, it just went under around half. And then, as you can see there, medium barely went under, like, still over a quarter. And then you got soft there, completely and honestly destroyed. But you can see what I mean by the medium tyres barely going down and very much compared to the hard tyres. So, which one should you really pick between the hard, soft and medium? Do not pick soft. I would recommend never picking soft, mainly because even when you do have a race, when there are a lot of corners, it's not going to help you, because every time you go around that corner, what do? You boost away. What does that then do? Loosen the grip. And if there's a lot of corners, you're going to be losing like twice as much grip as I was in that race. So you're going to have to be going in within like the second lap going in. Obviously not the beginning, the end of the second lap. But you're going to have to be going in a lot more than if someone were on medium or hard tyres. So in truth, I would probably, to the stats, recommend medium tyres, mainly because if it's meant to be in the middle of soft and hard, technically medium tyres should have more grip than the hard tyres, because obviously hard tyres are meant to have the worst grip and soft tyres are meant to have the best grip. But like I said before, medium tyres are quite weird. They sometimes change here and there, sometimes act like soft tyres and then sometimes act like hard tyres. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Which one would you guys be using after this race? Will you be using hard, soft, or medium? But anyways, if you did enjoy this video and you want to see more, go check some other videos. There's plenty more. I'll see you guys in one of them.